tell you what, I am so excited and just so honored to have the fabulous, the amazing, the phenomenal Quencie Thomas of Studio Q. Hey,
Honored to
Lance.
be here.
Yeah, listen, thank you so much. You know, we were talking before the break, and you were talking about being depressed. You're talking about
Yeah.
the struggle.
Hmm.
What did you what did you have to do? And this is hard for people to understand. And you talked about it, but I want you to kind of reiterate that.
Okay.
What is it that you had to do to kind of bring yourself out of that, to turn that curve, to make that shift? So that even you're talking with me today,
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it really is about tying that knot and not letting go, because I absolutely do not look like what I've been through.
Mm.
Okay.
Come
I,
on.
I,
Come
I
on.
just, I just don't. Nobody would ever know. But, you know, um, just not giving up on myself, prayer, as soon as I was able, knowing that I needed someone to help me through to see me, because I was hiding too. And what people don't understand is, like, that's not who I was prior to the depression. You get what I'm saying?
Mhm,
I was a
mhm,
very
mhm.
extroverted person. So for me not to be jumping in the picture, me not to be being, in the interview, like, for people to even hear that who actually probably know me from way back when, they like, what? But
Yeah.
it happened. And I never knew about depression until I went through it. And I was like, oh, this is, so
Mhm.
to experience, like, just hiding myself, so I had to find me again, and validate myself and be my own best friend, and uh, reach out. Don't isolate. Reach out to people. If you can't find a therapist, find somebody who can validate those feelings that you're going through, so you know that you're not alone. You know,
Mhm, mhm.
and but just not giving up, knowing that this is just a moment.
Right.
It's just a
Just a
moment, and if
moment.
you can get past that moment to the next moment, it gets better. It gets
And
better.
in that moment, Q, what motivates Q?
You know, um, manifesting my dreams, being excellent, um, wanting to see what's in my mind come out, knowing that it's possible. Because growing up in a small town that I was mostly surrounded by white teachers, white students. I was the fly in the buttermilk. Now, don't get me wrong, I had a ball. Okay, I had a ball, but I didn't have black teachers. I had to go to a whole HBCU to live in Wakanda. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like, my
mhm.
mother, she went to a black high school, black, she had that neighborhood parties, all that. I did. My experience was completely different. That's why, I was happy that Whitney Houston's music crossed over, because I didn't
Mhm.
have black radio. So I was like, okay, they making sure Whitney played on the white radio.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Just wanting, motivated by excellence, and wanting to be what I saw in my brain, and what I saw when I finally got to see greatness be reflected, black excellence,
Mhm, mhm.
so yeah.
Wow, wow. You said a word. And Q, I want to thank you so much for being transparent, because a lot of times people see us and they really don't know what we go through or what we've been
Hmm.
through. And for you to
Yeah.
come on the Tammy show and be as
Yeah.
transparent as you are, I want to
Yeah.
thank you for that, because a lot of people don't talk about mental health.